morning, good morning, good morning, or should I say good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another edition of Spreading Love Unapologetically podcast. Today is Saturday, September 21st. And I just want to welcome you. Thank you, everyone, for your support. It's been a heck of a week, you guys. So, to move forward, I want to give a shout out to my sister Jay Renee, who is boots on the ground, helping some folks out here. Lulu Cameron, Ashley, Nicole, my daughter Nicole, and just everyone out here who is focused on ensuring the citizens are okay. I want to give a shout out to the Unapologetic 12 this morning, Gaylisa and Kecia. I don't know if you guys watched our little preview, but tickets are now officially on sale for the gospel play, The Streets is Calling, October 13th, 2024. Reach out to either Kecia or Gaylisa or myself for a ticket. Tickets are $25 for the play only, and then $35 for the play plus the meal. So again, welcome. We have a very special guest today who is in our studio. If you guys know, we try to spread love everywhere, and I met this guest through a mutual individual, and I'm really excited about his program. And the reason I am is because we see so much negativity. It's just really a blessing to see some positivity being put out here. So without further ado, I have Mr. Jonathan Self Woodard. Welcome to the show, Mr. Woodard.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you. So do you have any shout outs before we get started?
Yeah, shout out to my son's mother, Dana. Shout out to my brother, Junior, my sister, Samantha, and this lady, Jody Davis, and everybody who has supported me upon my release and helping me find my way towards my success.
Okay. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. So, Mr. Woodard, or Self, is, I never met anyone that called themselves Self. Self.
Yeah.
So, talk to me. Who is Self? Where did you come from? Who are you? Who is Self?
So, I'm originally from Mississippi. I moved to Cleveland in 1993. I reside back in Mississippi. I grew up in the community, in the hood, average kid. As a youth, I was very intelligent. I excelled in school, but, eventually I ended up losing myself. I lost my identity to the point where I valued my intellect, wanted to be accepted, wanted to be validated, didn't want to have to deal with bullying. So I created this image of myself that really was supposed to be something that was only to protect me, but I kept on enhancing it. And eventually it took control of my life. I lost the identity of who I once was and became some thug-like individual. And this particular ego resulted in my doing a lot of time in prison and living a very, very dangerous lifestyle.
Okay. So you said you were in prison. How long were you in prison? Do you mind sharing for
I don't mind sharing at all. Yeah, I was in prison for 28 years and 10 months.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Welcome home. When'd you come home, by the way?
Yeah. I came home February 1st.
Wow. Of this year?
Of this year. Yeah.
That's a short time.
This is the new self you're looking at.
Okay.
I know. This is the new self that you're looking at. They say that if you want to find your passion in life, you look back to a place in your youth where you feel very dear towards something, and you go back to there and you can discover who you are and what's your purpose in life. And basically that's what I did. I went back to that place when I was a youngster, and I lost myself to wanting to be accepted and validated. And I rediscovered my passion, and my passion has always been about learning and growth and development.
Understandable. Okay. So while you were, I just want to take our viewers through a little bit of what is the most significant lesson that you learned while you were in prison, and what brought you from who you were to who you are today?
So I guess I would say the most significant lesson I learned in prison is that you can change. Transformation is possible, but you got to want it. It just can't be a concept. It's something you got to pursue, and it's a lot of work. I learned that it was a lot of work, and what brought me from who I used to be to the person I am now was I gained what I like to call knowledge of self, culture, and kind. And
Okay.
I learned a lot because I educated myself. But the greatest thing that I gained that brought about my transformation is the knowledge of self, culture, and kind. It built me up stronger than anything else. There's a lot of struggles in prison, but this has always helped me strong and helped me keep my balance.
Okay.
I saw a lot of young people coming into prison, and I was talking to a lot of them, and I was listening to them, listening to how they think, and it made me reflect upon myself and how I used to think. So I thought that I could use my experience to reach out to other people and see if I can get them to influence them towards a more positive direction as well.
Okay. So from the time you went, you said 28 years, did you see like a major shift and a major change from the time you went into the time that you were released?
In the system or within myself?
In the system and with the young people coming in, because you talk about young people.
I definitely did.
Like a different caliber of young people.
I did. Within the system, I noticed how, like when I came in, there was brothers who was waiting to embrace me and to direct me into a positive direction.
Okay.
Brothers was telling me about what to do and what not to do, what to get involved, what to get involved in, and what not to get involved in. I had brothers who was giving me books, challenging me, giving me to read this book, challenging my personality, telling me what I needed to do to build myself up morally and ethically.
Okay.
As years changed, I didn't see that anymore. These was older brothers who had been down for a while, and they knew the type of time I was doing, and they knew what doing that type of time could lead me into if I get pulled in the wrong direction. But it's like now, like prior to my incarceration, like 10, 15 years before I got released, I noticed the change. It's like now the young guys coming into the system, there is no more older guys trying to influence them. Instead, the younger guys are influencing the older guys. The older guys have taken on this young mentality, thinking like the young guys, talking like the young guys, trying to dress and be like the young guys. So it's like it seemed like the social dynamics reversed itself.
Wow.
And the youth, and it's a more abundance too of youth coming into prison now. Back in 1995, when I came in, it was during that era when they was promoting that predatory youth concept.
Right.
And so that's when youth was just beginning to come into the system. So I was one at the prison I was at, which was the maximum security. I was only one of 9 young men there. I was 19 years old. But now you see the youth coming into a prison at an abundant rate. They coming in fast. They're coming in by numbers. And it's like they got the greater influence now. And no one, I'm not going to say there's no one, but there are very few guys waiting to lead them into a positive direction.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that. I agree. I've talked to a lot of the young people who are in prison, advocated for them, and the communication style, the thought process, and it's so different compared to many moons ago. Even when my son is in prison right now, so even his thought process is different. So thank you for sharing that. So it sounds like your experiences being incarcerated brought you to who you are today. So the name of this podcast is The Next Level, which you have reached the next level in such an expedient manner. Intelligence is the new swagger. Talk to me. What is that?
So basically, intelligence is the new swagger. It's a platform. It's a social community, and it's a social development and community development platform where I promote the value and importance of intelligence as like the newest and coolest trend. And I'm trying to reverse that dynamic where, or that stigma where being intelligence is lame, reading a book is corny, or dressing fly has to come with a social demeanor or ignorance. I want to reverse that and let the young guys. Like I said, I'm trying to create a culture. So when you
Right.
create a culture, you got to start with the youth. So I'm trying to
Yes.
get the youth to understand that okay, you can be intelligent and still be cool. You can read a
Right.
book and still be cool. You can dress fly and you don't have to act a fool. No, it's not about that. But I feel
I
like if
agree.
we can bring back the value and the importance of intelligence within our community, changing how the
So,
people think, you change what the people do.
okay. So what do you think is the first step? Good
So,
afternoon, Mr. Steele. What is the first step, do you think, in terms of intelligence, this new swagger? What do you think is going to be your biggest influence in, do you collaborate with different people in changing your culture, in changing the culture? Because I know you and I both know, because we're same from the same school of thought, it's definitely not cool to be intelligent. It wasn't back then, it's definitely not today. And when you walk down the street and you see a gentleman, I want to call him a gentleman, in hopes that he will understand who he really is, because people really don't know their self, with their pants hanging down off their behinds, or um, provocative clothing. And that's not just for men, but for females as well. What is your, in
true.
terms, yeah, what is your process in terms of intelligence is the new swagger, and moving forward?
My process is to show them something different. Like what I want to do, I want to use my platform to create books, programs, and visuals that show them something different, that promote our social values, that promote a vision where we don't have to be abusive towards each other. We don't have to slay each other. We don't have to be against each other. We don't have to like demoralize ourselves or devalue ourselves
Right.
just to get some type of recognition.
Right.
So I'm
That's
creating
important.
different things that does that and promotes that image.
Thank you. So
Mhm.
I see you got on one of your t-shirts. You want to show them your shirt?
Yeah, I do.
Are you selling your shirts, by the
Yeah,
way? Intelligence is the new
I
swagger.
am.
Okay. How much are your shirts? You
There's
so
$30 a
silly.
shirt.
How much? I couldn't hear
30.
you. 30. Okay. So you guys, if you're listening,
Yeah.
$30 per shirt. Is that small through extra large?
Yes. Small through
Okay.
extra
How can
large.
they purchase your shirt? So
They can they can contact me through my email, which
what's your
is
email?
jonathan.self uh jonathan.self.woodard@gmail.com,
Okay.
or they can call me direct at 317-741-3272.
Okay.
By the way, I
Wow.
also have this book, Hey Young World, that I'm selling, and you can
What's it
call
called?
me and purchase this book at $20.
Hey Young World.
Hey Young World, yes.
Okay. How can they purchase your book?
They can call me or email me.
Okay. With those phone numbers. So we have
Yeah.
a phone number of 317 oh boy, I missed a digit or two. 317 741
74, yes. 3272.
3272. My apologies. Type it too fast. 3272. That's the phone number, you guys, to reach out to Mr. Self. And his email address again is jonathan.self.woodard@gmail.com.
And the Instagram is the IG is Intelligence is the New Swagger.
Intelligence. You got me doing
Is
all
the
this.
New Swagger.
I
appreciate you.
Intelligence.
I'm fresh right now. I need all the promotion I can get.
Absolutely. Well, one of the things that one of my co-hosts and myself, and actually my dad talked about a long time ago, because I was actually born and partially raised in Cleveland, Ohio. And one of the things my dad used to talk about a lot is people do not support each other in Cleveland the way they should be. And I'm starting to think it's all over the country, like if a certain person is doing something and you can be of assistance, or, help push them forward and move them along, why not help them, move them? But it's all about recognition here in Cleveland. And it's really a sad world that so many people have to leave Cleveland in order to make it. We have a Black designer. I wear a designer. He had to leave Cleveland in order to make it. And he's back here now. He opened up a store, but most of his clientele is not in Cleveland, Ohio. And to me, it's sad. And so it's the same thing with you. Intelligence is the New Swagger. And by the way, you guys, he's a Cleveland Browns fan. Lord help him. Help him, Lord Jesus. I don't know why, but okay. I would think he would be a Saints fan, but okay. Shout out to you, Cleveland Brownies. I would think that people would come together in a community, to help support one another. I have people all over the nation, and if they reach out, we're there for them. It's not about me receiving recognition. We've done so many things behind closed doors, and that's what it's all about to me, is making sure someone gets service. My sister said, go Browns. Hey, sis, go Browns. I'm going to take you out. That's my sister. But I think that if we learn to support one another properly, then we will be able to propel and move forward, especially when it comes to young people. But young people are probably, at this point, one thing I know about young people is they're tired of hearing the same song. Do this and do that. Is do as I tell you and not as you see me doing. People need to be, they need to see the change that we are seeking for them to be, and that is so important.
They do.
How you feel about,
they do.
Right. They need to be the change. And so it sounds like your
that's program, one of the things. Right. That's
what you say?
Yeah, that's one of the things that I'm trying to do. That's one of the things that I am doing. I'm allowing them to see the change. Because I'm constantly running into that situation here also, where you want to work with the people in the community, but the people in the community, they are more concerned with, and they so stuck on the old ways of what they feeling like once worked. But the thing about it is that, like I told them at this youth meeting that I attended probably about 2 months ago, you can't solve or reach new time problems with old time solutions, because things change.
So what would your suggestion be?
And
if
you're not, excuse me,
what would your suggestion be? And I understand what it is that you're saying. I said, what would your suggestion be?
Right. My suggestion is to gain an awareness and to actually intermingle, be social with these youth, not just social when you having a youth meeting. Be social with these youth when you see them out and abroad. Create a relationship, because once you create this relationship, you create trust. Once you create trust, then people are going to listen to you more. And you can't sit around and talk about, okay, I'm telling you to do this, so do that. You got why, show them the benefits behind what they do. You got a lot of guys out here who telling these youth like, okay, I'm OG and I'm out here, I'm an OG. I used to live like this. I used to do this, but now I'm living like this. Okay. But okay, you telling them what you used to do and who you used to be and now how you living. But you're not an OG, because the real OGs is not just going to tell you how he used to be and who he is, but he's going to provide you a platform where you can do something different. Instead of just telling you about doing something different, and then when you don't do it and you get caught up in the situation, you have that "I told you so" mentality. Nah, that's not what's up. If I'm going to tell you to do something different, then I'm going to show you something different. I'm going to provide a platform. I'm going to show you a platform and give you something differently to do. And that's what I'm trying to do with Intelligence is New Swagger. I'm in the process of procuring a building where I could work out of so that I could reach more youth.
We need more and more people like you. We definitely need more people like you out here in the community, being the example for not, and believe it or not, kind of like what you said, because the roles have changed, Roxanne said, how do you create trust when some of the youth are so angry? That's a question for you.
You got to understand why they are angry. Okay, yeah, you got to understand why they are angry. You got to understand the why behind the anger. You got to understand the why behind everything in order to reach a person. There's always a why. I have this program that I do, and it's called Understanding Man. Man is an acronym for male adult nature.
Okay.
And I'm in the process of applying it here, but in applying that program, I have to appropriate it for the youth that's out here in society. Because there's a difference between the youth that's in there. And when I started that program, it was like 10, 15 years ago. So as I said before, things has changed. So I can't reach new time problems with old time solutions. So, but what we actually have, Understanding Man, is based upon this concept by this guy named Dr. Amos Wilson. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but his concept was that most male deviant and aberrant behavior is based upon reactionary masculinity. So we become so reactionary that the slightest thing that happens causes us to, do something. So we got to understand the why. Why are you angry? A lot of these youths come from broken homes. A lot of them have been misused and have been abused, or they have been misdirected, or they feel let down. They looking at us like we are the generation to let them down. So they angry at us like, okay, who are you to tell me something when your generation is the reason my generation is like this? You got to be able to relate to that anger. And then when you do find out what that anger is, you got to know, you got to bring healing. We got to be able to have some type of avenue, some type of mechanism that can bring healing to that individual.
I agree. Thank you. So,
my son, I help. Okay.
Go ahead. Speak.
Yeah, I have a son that is 30 right now, and he been dealing with anger issues forever. But I came to understand the why behind his anger. He was missing his dad. His dad was in prison for years.
Yeah.
And then he was wanting to be like his dad because the people who he was surrounded with was making him feel like he should be me. Right. Until I told him that was never me. That's not the true me. That's not who I am. Then once me and him build that relationship, we got to understanding, and I understand where his pain and all his anger was coming from. I had to help get him to understand again the why behind why I was who I was and what caused me and how it caused me to leave for so many years. I had to help him understand that I didn't intentionally abandon you and your mom. I would never do that. But because I was lost and I was trying to find something, because I was angry too. I was looking for something to appease my anger. I was looking, and I thought the streets could do that. The streets wasn't the answer to that. So we just got to find out the why behind why these young people are going through what they're going through. Because most of them believe that they have to. And there's, again, back to the trust issues. There's no trust with the people in the community. They may not have any trust with their parents. They don't trust correction officers. I was also in a meeting where I was talking to some, not correction officer, but police. And I was telling the community and the police leaders, you want to approach the stuff that these young people are doing out here in the streets with this police mentality. When you're doing that and you are trying to combat violence with violence, you're just going to make them more angry. That's not the way to do that. Wait for the police, especially the police, because in the Black community, the youth don't trust the police anyway. They just don't trust the police because
Do you blame them?
the police have, right. That's what I'm about to say. The police has given them so many reasons not to trust them. So you don't try to combat the violence with violence. You create a relationship with the community. You start creating a bond of trust with these young men. Once you create a bond of trust with these men and work with the people in the community to bring upon some other type of guidance, to bring upon some type of activity, to give them something to do that would send their minds into a positive direction.
Right.
That's the way you approach that and you bring that healing.
Right. I agree. Oof. That's a lot of information to take in. Thank you. We definitely got to bring you back on. And by the way, we can talk as long as we want. But I want to say that I was looking at some of your pictures, and you recently you networked in Atlanta. Was it Atlanta?
Yes. In Atlanta at the Invest Fest.
Oh,
that was great. That was one of my most empowering experiences, and I like to see it as something that I manifested through my thoughts. I strongly believe in thought manifestation. I believe in creative energy. And I used to always think about attending the Invest Fest while I was incarcerated. And a lot of those guys that was there and who was promoting themselves, I used to think about those guys, study those guys, and follow those guys. So attending the Invest Fest worked so well for me. I met a lot of people, told my story. A lot of people embraced me. I told them what I was doing. I collaborated with a lot of people. Like right now, I'm collaborating with an AI developer. She develops contents for like mental health, wellness, holistic thinking and being. So she wanted to develop AI content for people who are incarcerated and the formerly incarcerated. So I'm developing that content with her. I collaborated with a reentry coordinator out of Florida. This lady, the AI developer, is actually out of Atlanta. I collaborated with a reentry coordinator out of Florida. The guy, I don't know if you're familiar with Ash Cash, but Ash Cash and I, we talking about collaborating on some things. I was able to meet Troy and Rashad, the people who hosted Invest Fest of Earn Your Leisure, and we talked. And I talked to him about my brand. I also talked to 19 Keys about my brand, and he gave me a form to fill out for a $25,000 incentive in order to help me get my business started. So yeah, that was great for me. I needed that experience because I really like surrounding myself with people who I think are smarter than me, people who are better than me, and people who are more successful than I am. I think that is the only way that you are going to get to where you are going. And unfortunately for me, in this environment, in this small city in Mississippi, there's not a lot of people who think like I think. Like I think with a very progressive, a very growth mindset. And my environment is not like that. So an Invest Fest gave me what I needed.
Excellent. And so thank you for explaining that. So moving forward, I saw you with a picture with a pose like Brother Rush. I was like, oh, he's a yoga instructor as well. Are you a yoga instructor as well?
I am. Yeah.
Okay.
Yoga is my path.
Okay.
Tell them what?
Tell them about your yoga. Where do you have classes, or is it just for yourself?
I do. No, I have classes, but I teach. I'm looking for a building so I could open Swagger Fitness and Yoga. But I teach yoga more than just the physical yoga, which is called asanas. I also teach the mind and the spiritual concept of yoga, the self-realization process of yoga. Yoga simply just means like union, and through yoga you try to create and bring back or tap into that union that you have with the divine. So that is one of my that is actually the greatest part of yoga that I love instructing people into, how to tap back into that divine self, that spirit. Also, back to
Okay.
my name, self, in yoga. Yeah, in yoga, the divine spirit that exists within each of us is actually called self. And it's the same self that exists within myself, exists within you and everyone else. It's our true nature, our true identity.
Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you coming on. I just want to put your information back up for anyone who missed it a little bit earlier. This is Self's phone number in case you want to reach him. He does have T-shirts available for sale. But intelligence is the new swagger. What colors do your T-shirts come in, sir?
I have white T-shirts that comes with the blue words and the red logo as the one I have on. I also have blue T-shirts that comes with the white wording and the it comes with the red wording and the white logo.
Yeah.
And I have red T-shirts that comes with the white wording and the blue logo.
All right now.
And they
Intelligence
all
is
run from small to extra large.
okay. Will you have larger sizes available for, because everybody is not little like y'all. A lot
Yeah,
of people.
the sizes range from small to extra large.
Sir,
So everyone is not little like me.
You're in Mississippi, sir. You looking at 2 6 foot.
Right.
Big out. Look, I used
Right.
to go to the juke joints in Mississippi. Okay. So that's
Yeah,
your
they
phone.
still have.
Jesus. Instagram is intelligence is the new swagger. And your email address, I believe, is jonathan.self.woodard@gmail.com. Right?
Correct.
So I'm gonna give you a couple minutes to be on here by yourself, and I want you to just talk about whatever it is you want to share, your last thoughts, whatever information that's important to you. The floor is yours, sir. Okay. You
Okay.
can speak.
But basically, I just I appreciate everybody listening to me, and I appreciate all the support that I've gotten, and I appreciate anybody else who want to reach out and support me in my movement. Again, like I said, I'm new with doing this. I've been out of prison 8 months, but intelligence is the new swagger. It's something that is very dear to my heart. And if you have similar movements, similar companies or that is moving in the same direction, then I want somebody to work with. The more people to work with me, the more people we can influence. And it doesn't take the whole world to change. All it takes is 20, 24 people. And with the right influence, we can impact the change that is needed to make society better for everyone. It's about us coming together and working together. I would rather work with people in terms of the commonalities we share instead of be separated from the things that keep us apart. My as I have my books that are available. If anybody want to reach out, purchase a book. I have the shirts that are available, and it's growth. I have a growth mindset where I continually become a better person. Like I don't just be settled to like I'm comfortable where I am now. No, I can always become better. I'm always going to be trying to move better. And I want those who come in who share the same mission, same value, same mindset, same purpose. And those who approach life trying to express their highest and best sense of self to work with me. That's how we bring about change, because change is needed. Peace.
I'm trying to get you off of solo. Okay, I think I'm
Okay.
back. Every week we have some type of technical difficulty, but I don't mind. I'm so used to it now. But I really appreciate you coming on. So, a ton of valuable information. You said some really intelligent things, and I really love the fact that you talked about the fact that we've got to be able to reach our young people, not based upon. Good afternoon, Ashley. Is that Ashley? Good afternoon. We got to be able to reach our young people based upon today's society, not based upon the old ways, because you're right. Oftentimes we do use the old ways to try to reach them, and they're probably looking at us like, that's not going to work with us. And I really appreciate you pointing that out. Also appreciate you pointing out the fact that intelligence really is a swagger. And it's okay to be cool. Our kids,
Indeed.
man, they're boy, I got young grandkids too, and the things that they're subjected to is crazy. Everybody out here getting high, smoking weed, and we all know the marijuana today is really not marijuana, but I swear there's so many drug infested people walking around today. And that's no judgment. It's just it's a fact,
Right.
I mean,
True.
I'm not just talking about everybody. I'm talking about professional people walking around hiding a kite.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that's a problem. you know.
Indeed.
And then I really appreciate you being open and honest and transparent, about your past or who you were. But as Elijah Wan says, you're ex-con. You're no longer,
Yeah.
and you don't have to be judged by who you were. It's all about who you are,
Indeed.
who God sees you as who
Yeah.
you are.
I wear my ex-con shirt
Do you?
proudly.
In case you
I
guys
do.
haven't seen, I gotta show y'all this. I love the shirt. It says ex-cons. 33 is his number, and it says we are not defined by who we once were, but who we are today. So, thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for coming on the show. Anytime you want to come back, we'll be here, hopefully. And if you need any help, let us know. Whatever we can do to help, propel you forward would be a blessing for us.
Yeah, I appreciate the help that you have given me so far.
Oh, thank you. That's what we're here for, because it was definitely a challenge for me. So thank you. All right, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Next week we're probably actually going to go on a really small break with spreading love unapologetically, because I will be on vacation next week, and I will not be doing any podcasts when I am out of town. So you guys be blessed. Thank you for tuning in. We'll be putting some reruns out there. Selfie Ho right there. Okay. You guys be blessed. Thanks. I'm gonna actually show your thing again, because I kind of like it.
So do I.